Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to all teachers at IPS. I'm bringing you this fifth episode based upon an approach to education and an approach to teaching and learning that I implemented during the first trimester of last academic year. Now, it's important for me to emphasize that I did not begin the year with this protocol or policy. I instead waited 7 or 8 weeks before I noticed that a change needed to take place in the classroom. Now, I don't want to provide you an anecdotal video because you won't benefit from that. We are all unique, so too are our students and their demands. But it is in my interest to provide you within 10 minutes a breakdown of certain problems that students are facing as a result of the influx of technology, the domination of education by these devices that are being brought into the classroom with the removal of copybooks. So, I want to start with exams. We need to ask ourselves, how are our young learners assessed? Because preparing them accordingly, not only with content knowledge and skills of analysis, especially within my own subject, they are essential. However, if they cannot articulate through penmanship, or if they don't have the opportunity to write down as much as they're keeping between their ears within 2 hours and 15 minutes, for example, then it was all for nothing. So we have handwritten exams. When you type into Google exams, 95% involve images like the two provided. Coursework, of course, is based on a computer for the majority of learners, especially at university level. But handwritten exams don't appear to be going anywhere anytime soon. So it's our responsibility to prepare students for that. Now, cursive or the art itself is not a high school standard. So oftentimes it is overlooked and ignored. But what makes cursive so special is that it's the quickest, most efficient way to articulate your thoughts. And students don't even know it exists and just have it as just an example of messy, ill-kept, ill-maintained revision material from their own copybook, then, well, they are going to struggle competing on the world stage against their counterparts. So, handwriting in class, what are the benefits? Of course, these are four points, complaints that we teachers at IPS sometimes have to contend with. First of all, my computer has died. I need a charger. The internet isn't working. Last but not least, oh, only three. Now, we may have some variation from these three, and it doesn't get any easier as the year progresses. Quite frankly, basing their resources within a copybook, of course, it increases the amount of pages that you're printing, but this is when we become efficient and you print questions as opposed to space for them to answer, because we do want to be environmentally friendly, but certainly not at the expense of certain physical skills. Physical benefits of practicing handwriting include the intrinsic hand muscles, the small muscles in your hand. We all remember the lumps from our ring fingers from constant friction with the pen, and so too on the inside of our thumbs. Now we're computer based, so those have shrunk and disappeared. But children who spend an awful lot of time typing will not have these refined muscles in their hands for sustained durations of an exam. So they can't write as much as everybody else. That's a problem in itself. Not only the hand, the forearm muscles, carrying your arm across the page, being able to present your answer or arguments eloquently, but also maintaining that quality of handwriting to make it easier for your examiner to mark your paper. And I don't want to repeat myself or sound like a scratched record, but we cannot build these muscles if we aren't constantly training them. Psychologically, we also need to consider the fact that A child moving from a classroom into another room or a sports hall is a significant enough jump, a change in their environment. Now, if they're switching not only the environment in which they are expressing their knowledge of a particular subject, but also the medium in which is being used, no longer a computer, now pen and paper, there are going to be problems. It's the unspoken truth, things that we don't want to contend with because education is moving at such a rate. We want to transition from traditional learning to a 21st century approach, but in doing so, we may move our teaching and learning forwards, but examinations are still where they used to be, how our parents used to sit them. So I don't want to bring you problems. I want to bring you a solution after articulating a concern. So the first change to make is having students bring pens and notebooks to class and writing immediately the date, the title, and teacher at the beginning of class. Now, for teachers, you can see this as an opportunity to buy yourself some time. They haven't even started the starter task or warm-up activity, but they're busy. They have work to do to organize their notes for revision, which will sit, of course, at the end of term 1, term 2, term 3. Finally, this is down to your discretion. Of course, if you have the time, you can have students write out the questions or just the numbers. The more reps you do in the gym, the stronger your muscles become. Of course, that's not as cut and dry as I am leading you to believe, but the more they're practicing with the pen, the stronger their arms and hands will become. Of course, this is down to your own, well, it's down to your own discretion. Finally, handwritten formatives, thus aiding you in your students' avoidance of ChatGPT. Even if they do use ChatGPT, there is some level of internalization of information. In order to copy it down from the computer to their notebooks or paper, they need to internalize this information and begin a baseline assessment of whether it's relevant or not. It's not ideal, but it's certainly better than a copy and paste job with a change of font and color. So in my third attempt, I've managed to keep this under 10 minutes. I hope this has been of benefit to you. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email me or get in touch through the comment section. That's all for now. Have a wonderful rest of your day.